Yeah, here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen. It didn't take too long, did it? No. Is anybody surprised? Once again, no. We're going to be talking about the issue we all know about within women's sports, men identifying as women, going in, taking places, awards away from them. An issue, by the way, still at this point, woke liberals deny is even a thing. Oh, it's not happening, it's not affecting women, it's exaggerated, you're mean, you're hateful, whatever else they come up with. There's a new lie told every single day, but this story is centered around women's cycling, and I tell you now, it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to waste any more time with this intro because we have an article to get into, but before we do get into it, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, and ladies and gentlemen, get ready for this one. Well, as you can see, the Daily Mail have reported, hulking transgender athletes take gold, silver and bronze spots on female podium at Washington Cycling Championship. How stunning, how brave, how progressive. Transgender athletes swept the board in a 1-2-3 at a prestigious women's cycle race over the weekend, infuriating fans and leaving female competitors in the shade. Every medalist in the elite women's Madison at Washington's Merrimore Grand Prix on Friday had a trans athlete on the two-person team, marking the first time trans women are known to have had a place on every podium spot in a race. Well, just like you, I'm wondering how those teams made it onto the podium. It's not because there's a male competing, is there? Nope, absolutely not. This is an absolute joke, and I wonder where those teams would have finished if these trans athletes weren't competing in those teams. Yeah, probably not in the position they finished in. But here we go with this next part. Race venue, the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome in Redmond warns it will not tolerate bullying or derogatory comments, especially related to race, creed, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, national origin, physical or mental disability is always the same. So what these people are saying essentially is, don't speak up against this. If you voice your opinion and you say these biological males shouldn't be competing in this category, they'll view it as bullying or a derogatory comment. Quite frankly, I don't give an F. These women should not be going through this. We all know it. These women should not be competing against men because they should not be there in the very first place. They are biological men. End of.
How dare you!
But the sight of the heavily built winners towering over their rivals and teammates on the podium has dismayed fans of the sport. As it should. This is so egregious. I can't imagine how people watched this happen and thought this was okay, wrote one. Yeah, well, if I was in that crowd, I would certainly be voicing my opinion, but as you can see, these are the hulking transgender athletes on the teams. You have this very tall guy on there, definitely looks like a woman. You got this dude here, and you've got this dude here. How stunning, how brave. Everybody clap and cheer. Leading the field was Jordan Lothrop, who was achieving podium finishes against men in the Victoria Cycling League in his native Canada as recently as last year. Wow. Second place went to Jenna Lingwood, 43, who raced as a man until 2017 and is now a member of the Oregon-based women's cyclocross squad team S&M. Taking third spot was Californian Eva Lynn, 28, who used to race as Henry Lynn for San Jose State University's men's team, but whose placings have soared since he switched to the women's team in 2022. Something we've also never seen before, right? We've never seen a dude do terribly against other guys and then switch into the women's side of things and do really well. Never seen it before. And the biological advantage with that doesn't exist, does it? That's what the liberals will also say. There's no biological advantage. The sports governing body, the UCI, last year banned transgender athletes who have transitioned after male puberty from competing in international events. USA Cycling introduced new rules in January requiring transgender athletes to undergo elite athlete fairness evaluations by independent medical panels if they wish to compete in top events. They must also prove that their testosterone levels have been below 2.5 nanomoles per litre for at least 24 months. Do you know what would be a lot more simple? Is if we actually just had men competing against men and women competing against women. But those competing at an amateur level need only complete a self-identity verification request, which will be reviewed by a USA Cycling technical director. The rule change came amid outrage at two trans athletes taking first and second at the Illinois State Cyclocross Championships in October, so this seems to be a big issue in women's cycling, but if you listen to woke leftist liberals, it doesn't exist and women aren't being affected, as I mentioned. Yeah, absolute bullshit. The debate over whether transgender women should be allowed to compete in female sports is one of the most contentious social issues of the moment. Let's be real, it shouldn't be an issue because women should not have to compete against men. Supporters say it is cruel to ban trans women from competing in something that they enjoy and highlight how vulnerable the transgender community are to violence. Yes, it's always the same. It's always about how this community feels, not about the actual women involved who are competing. Nobody seems to care about them, right? These women are sacrificing everything, dedicating themselves to a sport, but let's worry about the feelings of these men who shouldn't be competing in there. It's interesting because where are the feminists speaking up against this? Where are the liberal feminists speaking up against this? Because every single day you see on social media these very same people complaining about men who still identify as men, taking jobs away, getting paid more, etc., whatever else they come up with. But when it comes to this issue and you have men taking awards, places, money, whatever, away from women, oh, they ignore it. Stevie Wonder syndrome. I can't see it. So they can sit there all they want and say, yes, we care about women's rights, but you don't because you support an agenda that is actually undermining women's basic rights. Critics say it is simply unfair to let athletes who have gone through male puberty compete against biological women. The science surrounding lowering testosterone levels is still being studied, but wins by some trans athletes would suggest they retain a considerable advantage over biological women. Well, it doesn't take a scientist to figure that one out, does it? Anti-trans campaigners. Anti-trans. Like, people aren't anti-trans. People just want common sense brought back into society, but it's always the same. These buzzwords come out. You're this, you're that, you're anti-that. But these anti-trans campaigners say it is also unfair to let trans women athletes take scholarships and prize money intended for biological female athletes. Well, of course it is, because they're not meant for the men. They're meant for the women. And again, where are the liberal feminists speaking up against this? Yeah. Tessa Johnson, 25, won gold, and Evelyn Williamson, 30, won silver in the women's single speed, leaving bronze medal winner Alison Zmuda as the only biological female on the podium. So this is in the Chicago competition here. Yes, 2 guys standing on the podium. Wow. And you've got this woman here who is laughing, probably smiling. She shouldn't even be standing on there. Let's be real about that one. Transgender swimmer Leah Thomas was hoping to represent the US at next month's Summer Olympics after winning an NCAA swimming championship in 2020. But as we all know, last month the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland upheld a World Aquatics ban on transgender women who have been through male puberty from competing in international events. Well, that is good news. But you know what would be even better? If we just had, as I said, women competing against women and men competing against men. Solves the issue, doesn't it? How many more times does it have to happen before somebody with a spine goes, actually, you know what, maybe we should stop this? I mean, Trump came out the other day and said, we will not have men competing in women's sports. It will end immediately. So hopefully when he potentially gets in, let's hope he does, things change there. But you say all of this stuff, you point out the delusion, and these people just want to call you mean, hateful, it's bullying. Don't you dare make derogatory comments. And funnily enough, a lot of those people calling others mean and hateful are women. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, are we just going to see sports and teams just full of men? Because that's the road we're heading down. We all used to laugh at this. Oh, we're going to see men taking medals, whatever. We're going to see men taking all the medals. And we literally have 3 teams with a male on them. And again, probably winning those medals because the male was competing with them. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen, on this story. What are your thoughts on hulking transgender athletes taking gold, silver, and bronze spots on female podium at the Washington Cycling Championship? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your host JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out.